I'm a big fan of them. They're basically, it's carbonated water that looks like a soda, but it's really good for your digestive system. So it's got prebiotics in it, and it tastes delicious. Relationships. Okay, relationships is one of my favorite things to talk about. Regarding relationships, are you talking about meeting somebody? Is it somebody currently in your life? Relationships in general? Let me know which area you want to focus on, and I'll gear my talk towards that. Because I've done everything. I coached men for a number of years. I coached hundreds of men one-on-one and helped them get into the relationships they desire. So this is one of my favorite areas to talk about. Your current relationship. Okay, so so here's what I would recommend doing for your current relationship. I'm assuming you want things to improve. So are you into the law of attraction at all? Because we're going to use it to shift your relationship. Communication issues. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I'm going to recommend a few exercises for you, and then you tell me which one you like, or you can try all of them. So first, I want you to grab a pen and paper and write out 10 things I like about I'm assuming it's your partner. 10 things I like about my partner. And list them out. I love your vibe. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words. So I want you to list 10 things I like about my partner and write those out. And then I want you to include in your list that your partner is an effective communicator. And I'll explain why in a moment. So every day I want you to see your list and read it and feel these feelings of appreciation that you have towards your partner. As you put these feelings out, your partner, I'm not sure if you're a man or a woman, that's why I keep saying your partner, and I'm not sure what your partner is, but as you put forth these feelings of appreciation, of love and joy, you're putting out a powerful vibration and a powerful image as you show yourself this image every day, and your partner is going to respond and correspond to this vibration that you're putting forth. Oh, he's a man. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I had it opposite in my head. I pictured you as a Middle Eastern man and your partner as a Middle Eastern woman. So okay. So I want you to list out the qualities that you like about him, see it, feel it, and I want you to add in that he's an effective communicator, that your communication is well. That's one. And that's one. And as you read this list every day, what's going to happen is you're going to impress this idea of this is your relationship now upon your subconscious. And the theory is that there's only one subjective mind. And as you impress it on your subconscious, it's going to express in his conscious mind, and he's going to start to become a more effective communicator. What you want that's good is he wants it too, because it's good for him as well. So as you impress it upon yourself, he's going to start to express it in his own life. So 10 things I like about my partner. I told this story a few nights ago. When my dad first got out of prison, my dad spent 16 years in prison. When he first got out, I went and lived with him, and every day we would bump heads. It would be as if we were going to fight. You had two strong personalities, plus I had a bunch of pent-up aggression towards him. So every day it was something. And then one day things got really bad, and I said, you know what, Tony, you know all this stuff about meditation, everything. I said, take a step back. Everything is energy. So I made this list, 10 things I like about my dad. And I wrote out his positive qualities, and I started to feel them. And all it takes is a couple minutes. If you spend a minute or two in appreciation and gratitude for your partner, that's such a powerful wavelength or amplitude that you're putting out. It's going to have a huge effect on him. So I spent a couple minutes looking at the list. I put it away. And my dad comes home that day. I remember he slammed the door and he's like, hey, what's up, son? And we had this great time. And the trajectory of our relationship totally shifted from then on. So also, when you start reading this list every day, awesome. Thank you. How do I pronounce this right? XO. As you keep reading this list of positive qualities about your partner, and you keep visualizing and seeing your relationship a certain way, it's going to start impressing it. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's all about the energy you feel towards the person. It's going to start impressing these ideas on your subconscious. And I want to explain something for you all on how the law of attraction works. As you start, let me take a step back and gather my thoughts. You have millions of brain cells. Within your brain cells are billions of electrons. Only God knows how many there are. So as you start impressing these ideas of this is my relationship, this is how grateful I am for my partner, it impresses these ideas on your brain cells, and these brain cells vibrate, creating an electromagnetic field. And I will talk about that in 1 second. And it creates an electromagnetic field, and every time your partner steps into that, he's going to feel uplifted. He might not even know why. We both feel each other's energy. Oh, that's beautiful. Then yeah, try this exercise. And also, so you're impressing these ideas of how great your relationship is on your subconscious. Every time he walks into your electromagnetic field, he's going to feel uplifted, and he's not going to know why, but you'll know why. Also, just as there's conscious to conscious communication, there's subconscious to subconscious communication. And as you start to feel these feelings of gratitude and appreciation, and you're holding this idea that he's an effective communicator now, he's going to begin to shift, and your relationship will improve. Also, I would make another list, and I would have it right. I would have it say, my relationship with, and put your husband's name, and then list out how you would like it to be. And every day, relax your body and relax your mind. The reason I tell you to relax is this opens the trapdoor to your subconscious. And I want you to see and feel this, the end result of what it is you want. You can see you two having a great discussion or embracing each other lovingly, whatever it is. But as you see it and feel it every day, and you read how you want your new relationship to be with him, your subconscious is going to take over this image, and it's going to start to manifest it. Hey, I just wanted to know, will I? Let me know what you want to know. Your subconscious will start to manifest it for you and him, and your relationship will tremendously improve. If you want to take it even one step further, you can actually put it on the refrigerator or somewhere where you'll both see it and you'll both agree to work towards it. And you can both work, and he can add to it whatever he would like as well, as long as it's done in an atmosphere of harmony and love. And you two can grow a really beautiful relationship with each other. So again, 10 things I like about my partner, and add in the qualities you want, and then write out my ideal relationship with your man, and then list how you would like it to be, and see it and feel it every night. That'll impress it on your subconscious. It'll also impress these positive attributes upon it. And then every time he steps into your energy, he's going to be uplifted, and it's going to create a great relationship for you both. So you said, hey, I just want to know if my mom is happy in heaven. Yes. So what's after this? And by the way, I skipped somebody's question. I'll go back to it in 1 second after this, because this seems important. What's after this is of a higher vibration than what's on this earth. So there's so much more light and so much more love and so much more joy and opportunities and ease for expression and expansion on that side. So the answer is absolutely yes to your question. And if you ever want to connect with her, just do the process that I outlined in my How to Connect with a Loved One video, and you can connect with her tonight. And oh, awesome. All right, thanks. And for those of you who just joined, feel free to ask whatever you like. We're talking self-improvement today. We can talk about relationships, health, wealth. I mean, whatever it is you want, there's nothing that's off limits. And please be sure to follow me as I post 1 to 3 videos of this type every night. And I usually go live around this time. It's Haley. Oh, hi, Haley. Okay. And then I want to see, okay. And it's all about the energy you feel towards a person. Absolutely. Neville Goddard told this story about, excuse me, right? I'm just taking notes. About how this woman, she came to him one day and she said, Neville, I want you to help me manifest a new job. And he said, why do you want me, why do you want a new job? What's going on with your current job? Or what's wrong with it? And she said, well, I love my job, but I hate my boss. She said, my boss always berates me every day in front of my employees, or in front of my fellow employees. And Neville said, look, the issue isn't with your boss. The issue is with you. And the woman was shocked. She was taken aback. She was like, what do you mean? He berates me. Neville said, let me guess. When you drive to work every day, you just talk in you just berate him in your mind all day, telling him how much of an awful boss he is. And she said, yeah, actually, that's what I do. I drive to work every day and I tell him how much I hate my job because of him and I wish he would leave and so on. So Neville said, as you drive to work from now on, I want you to tell him how grateful you are for your job and how great of a boss he is. And try this out. So the woman starts to do this. And a short time later, the boss calls her up in front of all the fellow employees. He's like, hey, I want to tell you something. So she thinks he's going to berate her again in front of everybody. But instead, he tells her, he said, I want to congratulate you for how great of a job you've been doing. And he ends up praising her in front of everybody. And she's almost, she's about to fall over. She's in shock. So the reason I'm telling this story is people think that they're taking actions of their own volition. When you think thoughts, it causes brain cells to begin vibrating, and those brain cells go out and land on people who are in harmony with them, and they bring to you what it is you want. Once she changed her image and her vibration towards her employer changed. So if there's anyone in your life that you're having issues with, see if you can shift the energy around them, right? 10 things I like about this person, and see it and feel it. Imagine it's taking place. Talk to them in your mind, telling them how much you love them and appreciate them, and watch things shift. Work with the energy. Get your mind off of this third dimensional reality and start to work with the energy within you. There's that saying, everyone's a reflection of you. They are. If you can start to shift things within yourself, it can start to shift things in your external environment, and it'll blow your mind the power that you have. So good comment, Haley. I'll try that for sure. Awesome. I'm adopted and my birth father passed away when I was 3. If you want to connect with your birth father, irrespective of whether you remember him consciously or not, your subconscious is infinitely powerful and knows no time and space and knows no distance. It can bring you back a memory from when you were 3 years old. It can connect you with your father now. And I'm not trying to give you false hope. I really believe this, because I've seen when I posted that video, how to connect with a loved one. Well, first I did it with myself. I connected with one of my best friends that passed away. And then I posted that video, and all these people commented that they had connected with somebody that had passed away as well, or they sent me private messages. So try that out. It's called How to Connect with a Loved One. And I'll also make a meditation. If I get all my work done, I have a ton of projects that I'm working on right now. If I get them done by next week, then I'll probably make a meditation that'll just walk everybody through the process. We both feel each other's energy. Yes, we spoke about that, which I think is awesome. By the way, a fun exercise, it might sound totally hippie or trippy-ish to do if you have a really good connection with your partner. I did it with this woman that I'm talking to now. So we used to get together, we would meditate all the time together, and we would do yoga all the time together. So we had a really strong connection and affinity for one another. And so we started doing this process where we would meditate next to each other, and I would tell her, I'm going to make it an image of a number and make it really big, and I'm going to send it from my mind to your mind, and you tell me what it is. So we would try this, and we'd spend time doing this, and then we got to the point where we could actually send numbers to each other's minds. And it might sound like total nonsense to some people watching this, but this is real. Then we got to the point where we would create shapes and send them to each other. And then it got to the point where she could be out somewhere and I might feel upset or joy, and I would know something is going on with her. If she was upset, I would either clear and I'd say, I take this energy and replace it with love, and I would return it to her, or I would call her and say, hey, what's going on? I could tell you're upset, and vice versa. So thoughts are things, and you can, when you start to get, if you have somebody you're in really good harmony with, it's amazing what you two can do with one another. And then shout out Tony, it's Todd in the building. What's up, troublemaker Todd? Good to see you, my friend. All right, let me see. I see a bunch of questions came in, so let me start it. Oh yeah, you can change your life around so fast if you start applying this stuff. Especially, I want you to be conscious manifestors and be aware of what you're consciously thinking. I told this story the other night about I needed to manifest some money, and I needed to manifest it fast once. So I just started walking around telling myself, I just was like, imagine this is my subconscious, and here's the idea that I had. I started telling, this is the idea of I'm rich. And I just started walking around telling myself, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, just nonstop. And here's the idea. And it was as if I was just smashing it into my subconscious. But after an hour or two of doing that, I used to manage a gym at the time. After an hour or two of doing that, the owner of the gym calls me and he said, hey, Tony, this girl called me. She wants personal training. Can you train her? And I'm like, no, man, I don't really train. And he's like, I used to only help fighters get into shape. And he's like, trust me, Tony. Like he said, you're super overqualified. I know you can help her. Just do it for me, please. I don't have the time. And she wants to pay. I said, okay, cool. I'll train her. So I go to the gym that day, and this woman asks me, she goes, hey, she had just brought in her son, and she said, do you do personal training? I said, yeah, I do. And I didn't, but I apparently I did then, because since I had already said yes to those people earlier. She said, what are your rates? And I told her, and she said, oh, perfect. And she paid me for a month she paid me a month in advance right then. And then that woman came in, and she ended up bringing a bunch of friends with her. She's like, hey, I hope you don't mind. I brought my friends. And so they did a personal training session, and their friends brought their friends, and my whole business of personal training was started just from that initial interaction with that one woman. But the reason I mention it is, prior to that, I was just walking around telling myself, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, so that I could manifest some money. And I just believed this is going to happen. I am rich. It's going to manifest right now. And sure enough, that's what ended up happening. So you can change things really quick. It doesn't need to take 10 years or 2 years or whatever. You can shift things incredibly fast. My friend, he played the lotto. He would tell himself, God's going to bless me. God's going to bless me. Today's the day. God's going to bless me. That's all he would keep telling himself. First time, nothing happened. Second time, nothing happened. Third time, nothing happened. Fourth time, nothing happened. Fifth time, $2 million. Now he's chilling. He doesn't have to work. He got it in payments, so he doesn't have to work for the next, this was a few years ago, so he doesn't have to work for the next 17 years if he doesn't want to. And if he's smart with his money, hopefully he'll never have to work again. Do you have a personal example of some blatant manifestation? I think I just shared them. Let me know if that's good. By the way, I'm going to post a video tomorrow of an exercise, or I can tell you all what it is right now, an exercise for you all to do to actually test out the law of attraction. I want you to be practitioners. That means you actually practice this stuff. I want you to be conscious manifestors. I don't want this to be some like foo-foo, airy-fairy stuff. I want this to be a concrete process that you can apply over and over again and get the results that you want in whatever area it is in your life. Whether it's relationships, whether it's more money, better health, more happiness. If you follow the process and procedures for law of attraction, your life will improve. Let me know if that answers your question. That is Ian. K-Joy. Love these stories. Awesome. Oh, I've heard this one. Hey, Julian. Good to see you on here. Julian's heard all of them, or a lot of them, because he knows me personally. So, cool. Definitely will try that. You're talking vibration. Isn't it more biochemical? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but let me know. So I will say something to that. So there is the electromagnetic spectrum. You have all these different waves culminating. I think the highest that they have is X-rays or gamma rays on there. The theory is, this is the theory, I can't prove this, but the theory is that thought waves are even higher up on the spectrum, that they travel in all directions at the speed of light and they penetrate everything. So when you think a thought, it's incredibly powerful. And I mention this so that you don't get concerned, but if you spend some time thinking positive thoughts, one positive thought outweighs the negative effects of something like hundreds of negative thoughts. So spend some time every day in gratitude and appreciation and love, and watch your life transform. Always good to see you, man. Likewise. So if I don't want to be socially anxious, I can manifest it? Absolutely. What I would do is every day I would relax my mind. I would relax my body, and I would show myself an image of me being totally confident, of me walking around being confident, of me approaching women and them, or whatever it is that, however it looks to you. You can see yourself giving a speech. By the way, Todd, if you want to overcome social anxiety, first, I have that video up. It's called How to Overcome Anxiety. So do the exercises outlined in there. And also type in Tony Namey, Overcome the Fear of Public Speaking. So Tony Namey, Overcome the Fear of Public Speaking. It's a meditation track that I made. And this is great for any of you who have any issues about public speaking or anxiety or anything like that. It's a meditation track that I made for a friend of mine. It'll create a new self-image for you. It'll help you it'll bring up any mental blocks that are in your subconscious and remove them and replace them with something healthier. I'll put in all these affirmations about how confident you are. So listen to that. Tony Namey, Overcome the Fear of Public Speaking. It'll really help you out. But every day I would relax my body and relax my mind. The reason you do this is when you relax your body and mind, the trapdoor to your subconscious begins to open. Your brain starts to go from beta, which is the state of mind you're in when you're awake, such as you're listening to me right now, to alpha, which is a deeper state of consciousness, which takes place when you begin to meditate, or when you start to wake up every morning, your brain is still in alpha, or when you start to fall asleep. So where was I going with this? So as you relax, your subconscious begins to open, and it doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's false. So if you start showing it these images of you being confident, of you being powerful, of you being the strong man, it's going to say, this is me now. And your subconscious controls your beliefs, your habits, and your bodily functions. So if it sees you as this confident, powerful man, if you show it that, it's going to make you that. And this goes for any of you that are having any issue in your life. If you don't have money, start seeing yourself every day as wealthy, as a winner, as a success. If you're single and you don't have the right relationship, see the end result. Is it you and your partner on your wedding night? Is it you putting your wedding ring on the nightstand before you go to sleep? Whatever it is, start to show yourself the end result of what it is you want. Feel the feelings of it taking place. Feeling is the secret. The more feeling it has, the faster it gets impressed on your subconscious, the quicker it'll manifest in your life and things will change for you. Let me know if that helps. Good morning. Thank you for praying for baby Tessa. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad to be of service. So thank you for letting me know about that. I went into prayer right after you told me. What about weight loss? Absolutely. For weight loss, I would do a couple things. So first, cut out a picture of your ideal body and put your face on it. Second, every day stare at that picture for at least a minute. The reason I say at least a minute is it takes on average 34 seconds for an idea to drop from your conscious mind into your subconscious and manifest in your body. Your subconscious, again, controls things such as your bodily functions, your habits, and your belief system. So cut out the picture, look at it for at least a minute. Third, write out some type of affirmation that'll start to change your belief system, such as, let's say when I wanted to gain weight, I used to say, I feel strong and alive at 175. I weighed less, I weighed 150 and I wanted to go up to 175. So I would say something like that. So for you, if you want to lose weight, I don't know what your weight is, but I'm just making up an example. I feel fit and thin at, well, I don't know, whatever rhymes with fit. I feel strong and alive at 125. Do you see what I mean? But just something catchy and start to repeat that to yourself. See it and feel it and watch how you start to attract different resources and situations to help you manifest that image. And your body will start to change as your subconscious will start to change things for you. And then from there, obviously, make whatever changes you need to in terms of diet and exercise. But prior to that, everything starts with an image in your mind. So start with the image of you being fit and skinny and thin and healthy, and watch things change. So try that out and let me know if that helps. Okay, good morning. Good morning to you too. Thank you, great answer. I hope you're good. I'm glad to hear it. Thanks, Tony. I will look up the meditation. Perfect. Yeah, that's the one. It'll change. I lost my only sister on, I'm sorry to hear that. I have a hard time dealing, never got closer, not coping well. First, please send me, Sarah, please send me your sister's name so I can pray for you and her after this session is complete. Second, I would recommend the book Testimony of Light by Helen Greaves. I got this after one of my best friends passed away. I got this for members of her family, and it helped them get a lot of closure. And the reason being is that nobody, obviously it sucks that they're not here, but nobody really dies. They transition to what is after this, and you can still reach them. The form of communication is different. It's via vibration. You can still send love to them, and they can send love to you. So I would recommend getting that book. If you click the link in my bio, there's a Linktree link, and just click my top recommended books. It's one of the first books. It's Testimony of Light by Helen Greaves, or you could find it online for free. And it's about two nuns who meditate every day together. And one of the nuns passes away, and the other nun has an urge to start writing. And she starts writing out, and it's the nun on the other side describing to her what it is she's seeing. But realize you and your sister still have a bond. You still have a connection. And so I would recommend doing the process in that video, how to connect with a loved one who's passed, and let her come into your dream and let yourself get that closure. Your subconscious is infinitely powerful, and it can connect you and her. And that's what I did with my friend after she passed. I said, tonight, I relaxed my body, I relaxed my mind. I said, tonight, I'm going to have a dream of Amy, and I will understand and remember my dream. And then I went to sleep, and she came into my dream. And so you can still connect with people. You just have to program your subconscious correctly so that it knows what to do, and it'll do that for you while you sleep. And let me know if that helps you, please. What if you're overthinking, like your mind never stops, constant thoughts? Okay, that's actually a good question. I'm just writing it down, just because I'll probably make a video about it as well. What to do if you're an overthinker. Okay, cool. So what I would recommend doing is, so you have a mind that's going nonstop all day. I have a few thoughts on this. First, in the morning, as soon as you wake up, start to feel gratitude for everything around you. Now, why? Because you're starting to put your mind towards a positive inclination. If your mind is going to run rampant, at least let it run rampant with positive thoughts. So I would start in a gratitude state of mind. That's one. Two, after doing your gratitude, I would meditate. Do you have a daily meditation practice? If you don't, I would start to develop one. The reason being is as you start to meditate, your mind will become really still, and any repressed emotions and energy that's operating beneath the surface will start to come up to be released. And that way, once that's released, your mind is going to relax and it's not going to be so rampant. So that's 1 and 2. At least 10 or 15 minutes a day. Spend some time in meditation. 3, if your mind, I'll do 3 and 4. If your mind is running rampant, tell it, go and find me something good to think about. Or say stop. If it's negative, you have to be firm with your mind. You have to take control of it. It's not like a wild horse. It can work for you if you tame it, but if you don't, it's going to run rampant. So tell it, if it's thinking negative thoughts, say stop thinking these thoughts. Be firm. Stop thinking these thoughts. Start thinking thoughts that feel good. Or I want to feel good. Nothing's more important than me feeling good. Start thinking good thoughts now. And watch your mind shift from that negativity to positivity. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then 4, you just tell your mind, go find me something positive, or start asking yourself empowering questions. Your mind is a problem-solving organ or mechanism. So ask your mind, say, how does it get better than this? How does my life get better than this? How do I earn more money than this? How do I get richer than this? How does my life get better than this? Start asking yourself things like this, and your brain will start looking for it. Oh, how do I make her richer than this? How do I improve her life? Yeah, from far away, I wanted to double check. So Kimberly, yeah, your mind will start looking for the answers to those questions. Also, there was one, also give it something to focus on. So you could write down some type of affirmation of a positive nature, such as I always tell everybody this affirmation, I am well, strong, and full of courage. And if your mind starts going nuts all over the place, just start repeating that over and over. I'm well, strong, and full of courage. I'm well, strong, and full of courage. I'm well. And then it'll focus and channel all of your energy into that positive thought. You can also do things such as power poses where you put your hands on your hips and look up and start to breathe deep. And that exercise, when you do it, you can all try it now if you want. Close your eyes. Go ahead and close your eyes. Don't worry, this is a safe space. Close your eyes. Put your hands on your hips. We'll all do it together. And just and look up slightly. And just take an easy, gentle breath through your nose. And take another deep cleansing breath, just really breathing in and allowing yourself to relax. And take one more deep, cleansing, powerful breath now. And gently begin to open your eyes, coming back to the room, back to your body. So when you do stuff like that, when you do power poses and take deep breaths, your mind is going to relax. Your brain will start pumping tonic, feel-good chemicals, and you'll feel better. So if you do all of those things that I just outlined, you'll have control of your mind, and it'll be of a much positive nature and slant. You'll be inclined towards good. So, okay, let me see. Thing to reach him, I need to learn about my subconscious. Everybody needs to learn about their subconscious. Your subconscious is this some supercomputer. Think of it as you're the king, or in your case, the queen, and you have this infinite number of servants who want to help you. All you have to do is give your servants commands on what it is you want them to do. And you can either give it to them forcefully, like by saying affirmations such as "I am rich, I am strong, I am full of courage" with emphasis, or by relaxing your body and relaxing your mind. That opens the trap door to your subconscious, and then you can gently place things in. Whichever method you want is up to you. But once you start understanding your subconscious and how it works, it can tremendously change your life. Thank you so very much. Her name was Zella. Okay, perfect. I will pray for you both tonight for sure. Let me see. I'm just writing down your names. Cool. All right. Dad, so you come home. Dad. Okay. Let me just block this person. How do I block? And then, okay. That felt great, but when I'm stressed, I forget these techniques. That's why I said earlier, I said you want to be a conscious manifester. And they call us practitioners. It's a practice. Sometimes you forget and your mind goes off track, but the more time you spend consciously manifesting, the more time you spend consciously practicing these techniques, this will start to become your default way of being. And when those negative states occur, first you'll start to catch them in their incipiency. So instead of them becoming huge and overblown, you'll catch them right away, and then you'll shift toward the positive. And then even if those times that they do become overblown, that time will last much less than it did previously. And then your negative will be less and less and less, and the amount of time you spend in positivity will be more and more and more. So you're essentially training your brain, or you're training yourself for success. That's what winners do. They focus on the positive. They take control of their emotions. They control their body, and they focus on winning. And losers do the opposite. I hate to call people winners and losers, but that's, the reality of things. Or that's my reality of things. All right, so let me know if anyone has any questions. And if you're not following me, please do. I see some people did. I post this type of content at least 1 to 3 times a day. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you live your absolute best life. It's in my best interest and your best interest for you to be well. Why is it in my best interest? You are being very helpful to me. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Good. I'm glad. Thank you, Miriking. And by the way, if any of you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's nothing that's off limits. I'll talk for maybe 30 more minutes or so. We can discuss anything that you want. As when you ask questions, it brings up ideas in my subconscious and conscious mind, and it lets me go to work and do my thing, so to speak. So ask away. And there's no such thing as a dumb question. There's only dumb answers. So what's it called? Ask away, because usually the question that you have is going to help somebody else get their question answered as well. And I post these online, and I'll have my podcast up next week. So I'll be putting up the audio of all these type of talks. And if nobody has any questions, then I will probably pick a topic and start freestyling it. So I'll wait a second and see if anyone needs help with anything. By the way, let me see how. Okay, cool. I'll leave that alone. Okay, so I'm not a person that can learn by a book or being told how to do it, however. I'll answer your question next, MTK. Let me get to Kimberly's and then you're up. Okay, so I'm not a person that can learn by a book or being told how to do it, however. Hey, hi, Shalna Ryan. So what I would recommend doing, first, that's just an idea. Everything is ideas. Everything's beliefs. So tell yourself, I learn easily and effortlessly anything I want to learn whenever I want to learn it. Start to shift your ideas. People will think like, oh, I only learn this way, I only learn that way. No, tell yourself, I am a genius and I apply my wisdom now. I am a genius and I can learn anything I want, however I want. Start to play with your belief systems. That's first. Like guided meditation. Yeah, I actually prefer guided meditation over passive meditation. Just for that reason, for me, it's more interactive. Obviously, it's active meditation. But if you're a person who learns by actually doing something as opposed to a book or a lecture, then just write out the processes that I outlined for you and get to work practicing them. And as you practice them, you'll become more proficient at them and you'll get better results with them. So for you, it's going to be one of those practice makes perfect type of things. So just try out the process that I outlined for you. Let me know if that helps. But usually just as you do it more and more and more, you want it to become second nature to where you just do it automatically. There's no such thing as a stupid question. You said, how can we fear about death? I think you mean to ask me, how can we not fear about death? Let me know if that's what you mean, and I'll answer it right away. I need it like a child where I have to be led. So again, the steps are very simple. One of them was just to tell yourself, stop thinking these thoughts, find me something positive to think about, or ask yourself positive questions, such as how does it get better than this? Or have an affirmation that you write down in advance. So for instance, I am well, strong, and full of courage, or every day and every way I'm getting better and better. And start to say that to yourself with emphasis, with power to focus and concentrate all your thoughts. And then also meditate, and then gratitude to put yourself on the right train every morning. So gratitude in the morning, let me know. Gratitude in the morning, meditation, and then the other 3 steps. Do you have videos I can watch? I do, but I don't have them so much on that topic. I'll probably make a video tomorrow for you, just outlining the steps. Actually, I'm almost certain I'm going to, because I wrote it down because I thought it was a great question. So I'll make the video tomorrow and I'll put it up, and then send me a DM and I'll tag you in it once I have it. And then, okay, cool. Yep, awesome. Yes, I fear death. Okay, so it's weird. First, I don't know if it's because I had such a crazy childhood. I don't fear it at all. I never have. If you have a fear of death, I recommended this book to somebody earlier, but go read Helen Greaves' Testimony of Light. You can either find it online for free, or you can click my link tree, click my top recommended books, and it'll pop up right away. Helen Greaves' Testimony of Light. And it'll give you a solid framework for what takes place after this, how there really is no death. This is a transition into something higher. And you can also try, this is fun for all of you who want to try this. If you type in on YouTube, Tony Namey past life regression. So Tony Namey past life regression. You can I will take you through a process to regress yourself to see what took place in your past life. And then once you see that you've already lived before and you're here now, it starts to diminish that fear of death. But realize nobody ever dies. We transition into something that's much higher and better than this. And for me, that's enough to overcome that fear. But I would substitute my fear for faith and tell myself, what do you believe? Do you believe that there's something higher after this? Do you believe, do you believe in God? Do you believe in life? What do you believe? And I would go into that faith aspect and tell myself, I'm going to move into something greater than this. Imagine God, I'm thinking of God as an employer for a second. It might sound like a weird analogy, but if you live a good life, you do your best in this life, you help who you can, you're filled with love, you really try. Do you think God is going to demote you? No, he or she, or the Spirit is going to promote you into something higher. So if you're doing your best, don't fear anything. The divine knows that you're trying, that you're doing your best, and it's going to move you up the scale of life. Let me know if that helps. But definitely get the book Testimony of Light by Helen Greaves. Just click my link tree, click my top recommended books. It's right there. And it will help overcome that fear. I'm starting to astral project. Should I be afraid? Are you astrally projecting? Oh, thank you, by the way, for sharing the video. I appreciate that. Yes, faith is very important. Absolutely. What's it say? What's that saying? If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, awesome. You can say unto this mountain, move, and it'll move, something along that line. But a mustard seed is this big. It's super tiny. It's the tiniest of the seeds. So you don't need a lot of faith. Just have some, even if it's this much. If you have a little light, that little light can take you through the dark if you use it correctly. So just, apply faith. Even if it seems you have blind faith at times, it's better than having no faith, and you can really shift things in your life. Now, somebody asked me something. Oh, yeah, I'm starting to astral project. Should I be afraid? No. Well, first, are you astrally projecting consciously, or it's just happening like we're having a conversation and suddenly you pop out of your body and you're, in Zimbabwe or something? So what I would do is, as you meditate and you get ready to astral project, tell yourself, give your subconscious the following suggestion. Your subconscious runs everything for you. It's digesting your food right now. It's creating all these chemicals in your body. It's creating all the, all this stuff to keep you healthy. Just tell it, I will only astral project when I want to. I have complete control and dominion over this aspect of my life. So I will only astral project when I want to. I have complete control and dominion over this aspect of my life. And that way you won't just pop off into the nether sphere. It'll be done when you want to. And astral projection, You can project your consciousness to other people, to other places. If you do the Silva method, you can project your consciousness into inanimate objects. You can pick up energy from people. So there's nothing to fear. It's just a higher form of perception. I don't know if that's the right thing. Let me think about that. Whatever it is, it's not something to be feared. It's something that most people could do if they start to tap in to that avenue or aspect of their consciousness. And I would go read some books on how to do it safely and easily. And if you want to, keep practicing it. While I'm asleep. Oh, okay. Do you want to astrally project while you're asleep, or do you want to stay where you are? Is the question. If you want to astrally project, tell yourself before you go to sleep. Tonight, can you speak? Let me know what you want me to speak about. Tell yourself tonight before you sleep, I will astrally project in a safe, loving, uplifting, positive manner. And that way, you've provided yourself some safeguards before you do it. By the way, for all of you watching, when you go to sleep at night, program yourself for good. Tell yourself, tonight I will dream loving, joyful, positive dreams. I will understand and remember my dreams. Or tonight my body will undergo great healing. I will wake up tomorrow feeling refreshed. Or tonight while I sleep, I will sleep healthy. I will have healthy, constructive, rejuvenative sleep. I will wake up feeling amazing. Whatever it is, give your subconscious stuff to work on while you sleep. It's the ultimate supercomputer. Let it spend the next 8 or 10 hours creating massive good. Tell yourself, tonight while I sleep, I'm going to earn more money than ever before. I am becoming a financial success. Whatever it is, whatever area you want help with, and let your subconscious create that for you. And keep things simple. Program it every night. Never go to sleep, by the way, in a negative state, feeling depressed or upset or any of that. Program your subconscious with what it is you want. Focus on what it is you want. Tell it, dream this for me, or do this for me. You know, you're the king and it's the servant, or you're the queen and it's the servant. So put into it what it is you want and watch it create rapid changes in your life. Your 2/3 that you're awake are dictated by the 1/3 of time that you're asleep. Most people think it's the opposite. If I have a good day, I'll have a good night's rest. But if you start to program yourself for what it is you want, that 1/3 will totally transform the other 2/3 of your life. I am going to make some kind of video about that. So give me 1 second, sleep, awake. Okay, cool. Thank you. I will say that when I sleep. Awesome. Okay. Can you speak more about projecting energy into objects and crystals? Yes. For crystals, well, first, I feel as if crystals have their own vibration and energy. Each are unique. But if you want to send energy, just look at, what's his name? Masaru Emoto's. I'm actually doing a video tomorrow on this. So send me a DM, Keenan, and I'll tag you in it tomorrow. Because I was supposed to do it today, but I got caught up doing a bunch of work. But look at Masaru Emoto's messages in water. So he has two things. He has water crystals where he takes water droplets, he freezes them, and he tells them, I love you. And the water droplets form beautiful crystals. Then he takes the other water droplets and he tells them, I hate you. And the water becomes black and disfigured. And he did the same experiment. I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow with rice, where he takes rice and he tells it, I love you, or he plays a symphony or music such as that. What's the word I'm looking for? Classical music for the rice, or he'll put sticky notes on the rice that say I love you, and the rice becomes healthy rice. Then he'll take another batch of rice and he'll tell it I hate you, you disgust me, and he'll play heavy metal music and stuff such as that, and the rice ends up becoming black and dissolving and becoming mushy. So you can project your energy through intention or through your speech into things, and it'll actually affect what it is you're sending your energy to. Dr. Thurman Fleet, this is one of my favorite spiritual teachers that unfortunately nobody has heard of yet. I'm going to make sure that everybody hears his name at some point in my life. So Dr. Thurman Fleet, he took 2 handfuls of seeds and he went out to plant them in his wife's garden. He told one group of seeds, he said, I love you. You're beautiful. I can't wait to see you grow. You're the best seeds that anyone's ever had. I can't wait to see what you become. And he plants the seeds. He didn't throw them out there. He plants them. He tells the other seeds, I hate you. You better never grow. If you grow, I'm going to cut you. I never want to see you. He plants those seeds. One crop ends up creating these beautiful flowers. His wife even remarked, "Can you believe how beautiful those flowers are?" The other seeds that he told that he told that horrible stuff to didn't end up growing at all. I don't know if he did this every day or if he only did it once, but one batch grew beautiful flowers, the other batch did not grow at all. So you can send your energy into people and things, and be aware of what energy you're sending to people and also what you're saying to yourself. Tell yourself you're the best. Tell yourself you're great. I heard somebody say once that if if acorn seeds thought the way that humans think, that you would never see an oak tree because they would all stunt themselves at a certain point in their growth. Don't be a stunter. Allow yourself to grow. Tell yourself how great you are, how amazing you are, how much good you have to share with the world. You do. You're infinite power and expression. You're infinite good in this three-dimensional world, in life, so to speak. So tell yourself how amazing you are. You are amazing. Your potential is virtually unlimited. If you started to express it, you could change so many lives so fast it'll blow your mind. So start saying good to yourself. Good question, Keenan. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I just happened on your site. Where did you learn all this? Good question. So I spent a lot of time and money and energy, a lot. My family and friends used to get so mad at me. All I would do is fly out to all these places. I would spend every dollar I had buying these obscure books of authors that nobody's ever heard of. I don't know why. It was as if I was hypnotized of this idea that I was going to somehow share this at some point. But I would go to all these different teachers. Anybody that somebody said is good, I would go see them. I would fly all over the US to go hear like this guru and that guru. And then I just started putting it all into this comprehensive whole. A lot of my stuff comes from a guy by the name of Dr. Thurman Fleet. He's my favorite teacher that nobody's ever heard of. If you've ever seen The Secret, Bob Proctor, The Secret, by the way, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a Law of Attraction DVD that was a huge hit. It was a giant bestseller that became a book as well. So Bob Proctor from that book, from that movie, was actually a student of Dr. Fleet's, as was Jose Silva, who created the Silva method. But unfortunately, nobody's heard of Dr. Fleet himself. And I spent years just studying his stuff, reading it over and over and over again. So a lot of the ideas about auto-suggestion, how thought forms work, all that stuff is from his work. So there's him. There's Esther Hicks, who I'm a big fan of as well. I've been studying her for years. There's Tony Robbins. I love him because he's a practical psychologist. He wants to get you well now. I want to get you well now too. I want to give you tips and techniques that work today, now. Not, I don't want you to spend 10 years trying to figure things out like I did. And then I was a licensed practitioner at the Agape International Spiritual Center. So I spent 5 years there just learning. And then I also coached guys for God knows how many years. And I would take these guys who were these shy wallflowers and I would turn them into freaking studs. Super confident men. I would so radically change their lives that when you would meet them, you would think there's no way this guy was ever shy at one point. I mean, they would always be night and day. They would be these guys that couldn't even approach a woman if their life depended on it. And then by the time that I finished with them, they would end up usually married or in some type of successful relationship. So that's my background, so to speak. That's very cool. The power of positive thinking. Yes, I think that's by Norman Vincent Peale. And I read about an hour a day. I recommend reading stuff of an inspirational nature. The reason being is when you read things that are of a positive type, it creates new brain cells of a positive type. You're literally changing your thinking and your inclination when you do that. That might sound like nonsense, but studies have shown, or science has shown now, that you can create new brain cells. So start to study things. Listen to people such as me. Watch YouTube videos of a positive nature. You'll literally start to create new neural networks of positivity for yourself. You'll start to think better, feel better, act better, and you'll get better results in your life. How do I find my true love? So, I have 2 exercises. This is a good one. I'm going to make a video about this. How do I find, I'm just writing it down, my true love. So, first, for you to attract love, you have to set up what's the word I'm looking for? A reciprocation? Is that the word? basically you have to put out the right energy to attract it. So first, to attract love, you have to be loving. So I would spend some time every day feeling love towards people and things that you appreciate in your life. That way you're sending out the right broadcast, and you have to attract somebody that matches up with it. That's one. Two, grab a pen and paper and write out my ideal partner. I don't know, Tawanda Stretchagapara. I'm not sure if you're a man or a woman, because I can't see any picture of you and your name isn't clear for me. But you write out my ideal man or my ideal woman, and list your partner's qualities. Or write my true love and list all your partner's qualities. And every day I want you to read those qualities and then see and feel the end result. See yourself with your true love. It could be you two married. It could be you two on your wedding day. It could be you two sleeping next to each other in your bed. Whatever it is, see it and feel it every day. And as you read these qualities, first, you're going to attract, as you read it and feel it, you're going to attract somebody who matches up with the vibration you're putting out. And two, as you read these qualities, you're going to become more loving and kind. So it's a good exercise for you to do. But write out my true love, list these qualities, and then see it and feel it, and you'll attract somebody that matches up with you. I'll give you a story from my own life when I did this exercise. And third, if you really, this is for everybody watching this who's single. If you type in Tony and Amy, find your soulmate. And by the way, I'm not trying to brag or whatever. It's just, I spent years making all these meditations for people for different areas of their lives based on the Silva form of meditation and other things that I had studied. The other things being hypnosis primarily. So my friends would bring me the issues that they had in their lives, and I would make a meditation for them, and then I would put it on YouTube to help other people. So this was something that I knew was common to a lot of people. So it's called Tony and Amy Find Your Soulmate on YouTube, and it's super powerful. First, we'll uncover if there's any blocks stopping you in your consciousness from attracting your love. We'll put out a powerful energy for you to manifest your love, and we'll set up a time frame in your consciousness as to when you want to meet that person. I'm telling you, if you do it, somebody's going to show up. So I almost want to give you a bit of warning or a disclaimer. It's powerful stuff. Now, try that exercise out, and I was going to tell a story about it. When I was living in Michigan, I'm Chaldean. Chaldeans are Christian Iraqis. I was living in Michigan at the time, and I was meeting all these crazy Chaldean women that I just didn't vibe with. And I thought to myself, what's going on? I know other Chaldean women who are great that I'm friends with. Why am I attracting these women? These neurotic Chaldean women. And I remembered, I said, when I lived in California, my mom and my aunts were always these super on-edge, neurotic Chaldean women. And I said, you know what? That's not the idea I want operating in my subconscious. So right before I was about to go to sleep, I said, I want a 5'3", blonde-haired, green-eyed Chaldean woman who lives close to me, that's a good cook, that gets along with my friends and family, that is good for marriage. And I just listed out these qualities that I wanted for her. And then I went to sleep. So I did it right before sleeping. Remember, I mentioned earlier, give your subconscious stuff to work on while you sleep. So the next day, I hear some banging at my door, like boom, 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 boom. So I open my door, and it's my property manager, who, mind you, I had just moved into the place. I had only met him one time. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, Tony, put on some shorts. There's this girl at the pool you gotta meet. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, look. And he's all adamant. His eyes are all freaking big, and he looks like he's on drugs or something. He's like, I just met this girl by the pool. I told myself, I'm too old to talk to her myself. Who's a good guy? And I thought, Tony, he's a good guy. And so I want you to go meet her. And I'm like, dude, and mind you, I used to work nights at the time. So I said, I'm going to go back to sleep. And I went, I said, thanks for coming by. And I went to close the door, and he put his foot through the door, like half his body, and so I couldn't close the door. And he's super adamant. He said, Tony, don't be stupid. There's this girl at the pool you got to meet. And I'm like, all right, man, take it easy. I said, and I knew, Neil is kind of like me. We both have a similar taste in women. So I said, all right, let me see what this guy's talking about. So I put on some shorts. I go to the pool, and there she is, 5'3", blonde hair, green eye. It turned out she was best friends with my cousin, and all these years of me and him hanging out, she zigged while I zagged up until I got clear on what it is I want. And then once I did, boom, I met her right then. I remember I called my cousin afterwards, and I was like, hey, I just met this girl. She said, she knows you. And he's like, and I told him who it was, and he's like, Zena? He's like, how have you never met her before? He's like, she's at the house yesterday. She's going to be here. He was having a big, like, Christmas party or something like that. He's like, she'll be there on Friday. And he's like, I can't believe you guys have never connected before. But it wasn't until I got clear on within myself that she manifested. So try out that process. It works like magic. It's the same process for anything you want. If it's a new job, a new car, a better body, list out what it is. My new body, my new car, whatever. List its qualities, see it and feel it, and you're putting something out, and you have to attract what matches up with it. It's that simple. Let me see what other questions came in. I trust what you say. A lot of things I've researched and everything my dad has talked about, you say. I don't trust a lot of these YouTubers who talk about law of attraction. I agree with you. And I have two thoughts to say about that. One of the books that I always recommend, it's in if you click on my link tree and go to my top recommended books, one of my favorite books is The Master Key System. Excuse me. This is The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. The reason that I love that book so much is Charles Haanel refused to teach the law of attraction until he had demonstrated it in his own life. He didn't start teaching until he had a net worth of about $250 million, which is huge. What I've seen nowadays is a lot of these law of attraction teachers get rich from teaching law of attraction, which I guess is fine, but I would have wanted them to demonstrate it first in the private world before, or in their own lives before going and teaching it. So for myself, I said I wouldn't teach until I reached number one in my company. And then when I reached number one in sales in my company, then I said, okay, I've demonstrated it. I've earned the income that I want to earn. I'm living where I want to live. Now I feel that now I felt qualified to go and teach it to others. So that's my thought process on that. For true love, 32 years of marriage, still don't know if my wife is my soulmate. What? You could try that video and see if your wife is who comes up, or if it's not. You can say, Tony, name me, find your soulmate. But I would hope with 32 years of marriage that she is. I mean, that's a question. Something like that, I would definitely take into meditation. I would totally relax my body. I would relax my mind by counting down from 30 to 1 or 50 to 1. And then just ask, who is my soulmate? And see if your wife comes up, if somebody else comes up, see what the answer is. And let that be clear. And then if nothing comes up, then tell your subconscious, I want to meet my soulmate now. Make it clear to me who she is. And then let your subconscious show it to you in your everyday life who it is. But no more being confused about it as of today. Hey, what's up? Faiza. So let me know. I hope this has all been helping you. This has been a good talk. I'm going to talk for maybe 5 more minutes. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, let me know now. And, okay, I see a message just came in. Oh, somebody else joined. We can talk about anything you want. There's nothing, as you can obviously tell, nothing's off limits. Good. I'm glad you're well. So we've been talking about self-improvement, law of attraction, relationships, talking to people who have passed on. If there's any questions, let me know. If not, I'll wrap it up in a few minutes. But I want to see you grow. I want to see you succeed. I'm going to give you an exercise to do. I'm going to make a video about this tomorrow. But if you want to, this exercise is from Richard Bach's book, Illusions. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. It's a fictional book, but it's just a great read. It's a smooth, hello, hi, Shauna. It's a smooth read, and it'll uplift your thought processes, and it has a good feel to it. Richard Bach wrote the book Jonathan Livingston Seagal, I believe is the name of it, which is also good. But I like this book because it deals with the law of attraction. So here's the exercise. I can't seem to, okay. I have something just for you. So, okay. I'm going to give this exercise to everybody, then I'll answer those questions. So, the exercise is this. I want you to, it's the blue feather exercise. You see how long it can take you to manifest a blue feather. You don't have to actually manifest it in your hands. You can just see it or wherever. Just attract it somehow. But basically, I want you to imagine that you have a blue feather and see it and feel it in your mind's eye and see how long it takes you to actually attract into this physical reality a blue feather. Try it out. Some people will do it right away. Some people might take a few days, but it's a cool process. The reason it's a blue feather, I'm trying to pick something that you wouldn't see normally every day, or at least I think you wouldn't. So try it out. Manifest a blue feather. That's your homework assignment, and see how long it takes you. Okay, so you said, I can't seem to walk away from my bad relationship. A good question. So this is something that I would take into meditation, but I'll also give you some, I'll ask you some questions about it now. First, I would recommend going into meditation, relaxing your body, relaxing your mind, and asking yourself, what is it about this relationship that is keeping me attached? Or what is it that I need to learn that I haven't yet learned? People in relationships are for either love or for growth. And for you, it's going to be one of the two or the combination of the two. So ask, what is it that I need to learn, or what's keeping me attached to this relationship? If you don't need to take it into meditation, you already know what it is, then just tell me now. And so my question to you is, what do you think it is that's causing you to be attracted to this type of relationship? Also, if you want to get over the person, an easy way to get over somebody is to put yourself in a relaxed state of mind, relax your body, relax your mind, because again, this opens the trapdoor to your subconscious, and start to visualize that person having a number of negative qualities. This is if you really want to get over somebody. I'll give you a story, by the way, that illustrates this. So my friend was about to get married, and just as she was about to get married, they're about to have their wedding. I mean, they're super close. Her fiance breaks it off. He says he doesn't want to be with her. He wants to go be single and party. And off he flies away to a different part of the world to live his single life, seemingly out of the blue. So she's devastated. She can't get over it. She can't sleep. She can't eat. She's like, how can he do this to me? He just goes on with his life, and I'm stuck here, in pain, and he's living his best life. He doesn't even care. And she comes to me. She's like, Tony, I don't know what to do. I can't sleep. I can't eat anymore. I'm constantly sad. I said, look, I have a process I'll take you through. But if I take you through it, you're going to be done with your ex. You're never going to want to talk to him again. You're never going to care about him again. I mean, it's going to be done. And so she tells me, I'll do anything. She said, I can't live like this. I'll do anything. So I hypnotize her, put her body totally relaxed. I make her mind totally relaxed. What happens in hypnosis is I'm the operator. She's the executor. Her conscious mind is asleep, and her subconscious is open to the positive ideas that I'm giving it. So I have her bring to mind her ex, and I tell her, instead of his nose, I want you to picture a clown nose. Instead of his hair, I want you to picture bright clown hair. Instead of his teeth, I want you to see these mangled teeth. Instead of his breath, I want you to see his breath disgusting. Instead of his body odor smelling good, he smells disgusting. And I just kept changing every positive thing to something negative about him. Right down the list to how he behaves. I mean, and I brought up all the negative stuff that he did, and I amplified it. And then I gave her a bunch of I gave her a series of positive affirmations about herself and about how she's worthy of the best love, and she's going to attract it now, and she's going to sleep better and all this great stuff. So I affirmed all her good. I replaced her image in her mind of her ex being this great guy, and I replaced it with him just being a horrible human being. But it brought her peace. After that, she never wanted to talk to him again. She told me the next night she slept the best she's ever slept, and she never had any issues with that ever again. So that's something you can do. Relax your body, relax your mind, and just start to replace all of your ex's positive traits with negative ones, and you'll be over that person like that. To be more intelligent, I want to manifest. Okay, so how to be smarter. I'm always done well in school and achieve good grades, but I want more. I want to be more intelligent. I want to manifest that. So I would recommend for you getting the book, Haley, The Silva Method. The Silva Method by Jose Silva. If you just click my link tree and click my top recommended books, it's in my top 3 or 5. The Silva Method by Jose Silva. It deals with all this. Jose Silva originally, he teaches a form of active meditation, and he originally was experimenting with his kids to see if he can make them smarter. And their grades ended up going way up. And then the other parents in the neighborhood came to him and they said, hey, your kids are doing so great in school. Can you help my kids too? So then he helped their kids, because he was wondering, is IQ fixed? Is it something that people are born with, or is it, and it's just at the set level, or is it something that you can adjust and actually make yourself smarter? So He started working with all these kids, and they ended up doing way better. And then that's when he started teaching his stuff to the masses. So it's the book, The Silva Method by Jose Silva. Now, can you make yourself more intelligent? Absolutely. As you go to sleep at night, or if you relax your body and relax your mind, tell yourself, every day in every way, I am becoming more and more intelligent. I am a genius and I apply my wisdom now. I am a genius and I apply my wisdom now. Every day in every way, I am becoming more and more intelligent. And also, your subconscious works in images. So it responds to images. So what I want you to do is, I want you to see a scale. Here's your current IQ. Here is if you were, the smartest woman alive, your maximum IQ. And just see yourself lifting the scale and then bringing this all down and then telling yourself, or just see yourself lifting the scale and telling yourself, my IQ is now affixed at this point. I am a genius from this moment forward. And watch how you start to comprehend and understand things. Again, your subconscious controls your beliefs, your habits, and your bodily functions. So have it work for you. Tell it that you're a genius, that you're intelligent, that every day and every way you're getting better and better. And watch how much smarter it makes you. Watch how much faster you understand things. Just watch how much you change and are uplifted as a result of it. So try it out. Play with it. Also, when you do use the Silva method, you start to use both hemispheres of your brain. Most people are either using the left hemisphere or the right hemisphere. When you start to understand the Silva method, you'll start to use both hemispheres of your brain. Will start to become balanced, which will actually make you smarter. You'll be using your brain more optimally. So try that out. It's a great exercise. It's a great book, and you can definitely increase your IQ. I'm thinking of a story there. John DeMartini, and pardon me if you guys have heard this from the other night. John DeMartini he was in The Secret as well. He's a chiropractor. He's a multi-millionaire, incredibly wealthy. He was told as a kid that he had a learning deficiency, that he was, essentially dumb. He was stuck at a certain level, that he was never going to graduate. I believe it was high school. And he moved to Hawaii, and he was selling stuff on the beach to get by. And he happened to meet Paul Bragg. I mean, talk about a freaking having good fortune. So he meets Paul Bragg. Paul Bragg starts talking to him. He asks him, what does he do? And he said, I sell this stuff, And he tells Paul Bragg about how he has a learning deficiency. And Paul Bragg, by the way, is the founder of the apple cider vinegar drinks. He didn't invent apple cider vinegar. He just popularized. I don't want to say I love Paul Bragg. He's a freaking genius, and I love his affirmations. So Paul Bragg tells him, you don't have a learning deficiency. There's infinite wisdom within you. From now on, you're going to affirm to yourself every day, I am a genius and I apply my wisdom now. So again, it's I am a genius and I apply my wisdom now. And John DeMartini ended up becoming a licensed chiropractor, a doctor of chiropractic, ended up becoming a multi-millionaire, helping all these people. So there's no limits to what you can do. So program your subconscious with what it is you want. Tell yourself every day, I am a genius and I apply my wisdom now. And watch your genius shine, so to speak. I'm in Zimbabwe, and I want to attack an online job for better money and better pay. I'm a man. So what I want you to do is, for you, if you want that job, what I would do is every day I would see myself working in that job, whatever it is. I would see myself working in it, or see myself coming home from it and feeling those feelings of gratitude for being employed in that job. That's one. Or you could talk about the job as if it happened 2 weeks ago. Imagine you got the job and you've been working in it for 2 weeks. So you tell yourself, man, I'm so glad I got that job. I have more money now. My hours, I'm busy throughout the day. I feel great about it. And just talk for a minute or two every day as if it's already taken place. And you're putting out that vibration, and you'll either attract that job or something that matches up to it based on that process. But the main thing is to get your consciousness off of this current reality, this three-dimensional time and space, and instead supersede it by going into that higher realm, seeing and feeling what it is you want, and pressing that on the power within you, which is one with everything, and it'll transform everything for you. So without getting too etheric, again, just see and feel the end result. See yourself working in that job or coming home from that job, and talk about it as if it's already happened. Man, I'm so glad I got that job. I feel so good. And just spend a minute or two every day seeing it, feeling it, and talking about it, and watch yourself. You'll either attract that job or something similar, but you'll attract according to the vibration you're putting out. And don't think of lack. Don't consider you're employed from now on. Tell yourself, I am gainfully employed. I am well employed. I am earning more money than ever before. I feel good about the income I earn. And stay in that positive energy and watch things shift for you. Thank you. You're welcome. Hello from New Zealand. Oh, nice, man. All right. It trips me out sometimes to see where people are coming from. I'm in California, so in my head, I'm just thinking everybody's around here somewhere. But let's go. How to get a serious relationship as a nymphomaniac. So there's nothing. These are all labels and stuff. To you, it might seem like a big deal to get a relationship as an nympho, but all that is not like that doesn't matter to the divine. For you, you just need to make a list. My ideal partner or my ideal relationship. List it out how your partner is, what the relationship looks like. See and feel the end result, and you're putting out an energy and you're gonna attract somebody that matches up with it. There's some woman that has an equally high, if not higher, sex drive that'll match, if not supersede yours. So your job is just to manifest her. So get clear on what it is you want. Make your list, feel it. Boom, you're putting it out, and you'll attract her. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad, because that had me worried for a second. I'm talking about MTK993. Okay, that's funny. How do you stop obsessing about mistakes in the past? Very good question. First, so there's a few ways to do it. I think this might be my last question, or maybe I'll answer. I'm from California, but working in Saudi Arabia. That is a big change. Hi from Kenya. Are you really from Kenya? Let me know if you're joking or not, because that's super cool if you are. And if you're not, that's cool too. But, okay. How do you stop obsessing about mistakes from the past? First, if that stuff starts to come up, I have a few things to say. First, what I recommend doing is, I'm going to write down your question because I want to make a video about that. That's a really good question. I'll give you the answer. How to stop obsessing over mistakes from the past. Okay. Here's your answer. So first, every day I want you to spend some time in self-praise. What I mean by self-praise, and this goes for all of you, most people don't give themselves enough credit. If, as an outsider looking in, if I was to see your lives and see how it takes a lot of courage to go out into life every day and sow and try to make things happen. If I was to look at your lives, I'd probably be really impressed by the good that most of you are doing, if not all of you. So I want you to spend some time every day in self-praise. Go in your past and acknowledge yourself for good things that you've done. Remember earlier I talked about you need to get your brain under control. Most of you don't have your brain under control yet. It's this wild animal. So start to train it to look for good things from your past. That's one. So every day, spend some time in self-praise. Ask yourself, what good did I accomplish in my past? What good things took place? What successes did I make happen? And I'm sure you've had a number of successes. So that's one. Two, when things from the past come up that you lament, first ask yourself, is there anything that I can do to rectify this situation? If there's not, then tell yourself, that was me then. I'm no longer that person. I forgive myself. If it was an issue that happened with somebody, I forgive myself and I am forgiven by that person and I forgive that person. I release the past and I am moving forward now. I am progressing forward now. And start to shift your attention on what's taking place in your life. Some vision that you want for yourself. If there was something else I wanted to say about that was important. I regret the past. I am releasing the past. Dang it. I had some main point that I wanted to make. I regret the past in the past. I forgive that person. I am free and they're free. I let it go. Focus on the future. There's something else that I wanted to say in regards to that. Dang it. It's like on the tip of my tongue. If I remember, I'll tell you. But the main thing is start to acknowledge the good that you're doing, that you've done in the past. Acknowledge the good you're doing in your present. Have a vision for your future. Tell yourself the past is in the past and forgive yourself. Every time it comes up, tell yourself, I forgive that. I'm no longer that person. I'm moving forward now. This is what I'm doing now. Everybody has mistakes from their past. If you could have done better, you would have done better. You did as good as you could with the limited information that you had then. You have more information now and you're making better choices now. So that's what I would recommend doing. But refuse to worry, refuse to regret, refuse. When you start regretting the past, you start creating a cycle of negativity about it. You say, man, I wish that hadn't happened. Why did I do that, etc.? And you're putting out that vibration. You're telling the universe, in essence, I don't like this, but give me more of it. It's almost like a form of complaint or self-abuse. Don't do that. Instead, focus on your future. Tell yourself, that was my... Oh, I remember what the point was. I'll tell you in 1 second. Instead, focus on the future. Tell yourself, this is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm accomplishing now. This is who I want to be and what I want to have. And feel into that and create a cycle of positivity in your favor. Another thing that you could do is, I did this for my friend. I'll tell this story and it'll illustrate the next point. So, one of my friends came to me. He wanted help with women. He had severe social anxiety in talking to women. I asked him, what's going on? What's with all the anxiety? And he told me that he thinks that he's too ugly for any woman. That's what he said back then. Not now. He doesn't have that belief anymore. So I said, where did you get this belief from? And the belief came from, I believe he was in 3rd grade. He was in 3rd grade or 6th grade, but he was really young. And he went to ask out this girl who was the most popular girl in the class. And he went up to ask her out and he said, right as he's asking, he said, will you be my girlfriend? And she said, ew, no, I would never be your girlfriend. You're so ugly. And all of her friends laughed at him. So he had this subconscious idea that he was ugly from something that took place as a kid. And he's an adult now. And what was in his subconscious was so far removed from his reality. Now he's this tall, built, good-looking guy who dresses well. So it was night and day, his belief systems and his actual reality. So what I did is I regressed him back to that moment, to that pivotal moment where that negative experience occurred. And instead of that woman or that little girl telling him how ugly he is, I had her tell him how good looking he is and she would love to be his girlfriend. And instead of everybody laughing at him, I had them all applaud and congratulate him for getting together with her. And remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's false. And when I shifted this to me, it's a minor thing, this one experience in his subconscious, he became so confident. I could tell him to approach any woman. He would stand there with such an air of authority, of such a sense of confidence of who he is and what value he would bring to a relationship. You would never expect that was the same guy from even earlier in the day that thought he was ugly. And it totally changed the trajectory of his life. So going back to your instance, if there's some specific thing that keeps coming up, relax yourself, relax your body, relax your mind. That opens the trapdoor to your subconscious. And instead of it going bad, right when it gets to that pivotal moment, it's about to go bad, replace it with it going good. See yourself doing what you wanted to do, acting the way you wanted to act, and rewrite that image for your subconscious. It's like you're saying cut in a movie and you're just changing the scene, so to speak, to something that suits you. And then you're hitting play from then on and the whole movie changes as a result of you changing the scene. It's a powerful process. It'll really shift things for you. Let me know if that helps. Damn, that was a good analogy. I'm going to pat myself on. Sometimes I'll say things and I'll be like, whoa, that's actually really smart. So that was one of those moments. All right. Let me know if that helps you out. And then, yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So it's 11:44. I've been talking for an hour and 18 minutes. Is there any other questions or anything else I could assist anybody with? If there's no questions, I'll wrap it up for the night. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them briefly before I go. So just let me know. And if you don't follow me, please do, because I post content such as this every day. And I want to see you succeed. Hello, Nora. So I'll wait one more minute and see if anyone has any questions. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the follow. And please be sure to follow me. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. And remember, your homework assignment, manifest the blue feather. And before you sleep tonight, program yourself for success. See yourself winning, or give your subconscious some ideas of what it is you want for your life, and watch your life improve. So I'm going to sign off for the night. Thank you all for being here and talking with me. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. I appreciate you spending this time with me. I'll most likely, I may or may not be on tomorrow, but I'll be back on at some point. Can you read my question? What was your question? I didn't see it. I'll be happy to answer it. Nora, let me know what your question is, please. It just said IT. So let me know what it is, and I'll answer that before I go. Oh, did I miss it? No. Can you read my question? Let me know, Nora. Yeah, we're waiting on you. I want to help you out. So, and if anyone else has any questions, I'll answer them. And if there's any videos you want me to make on any topics, let me know as well, because I enjoy doing that, and it seems to help a lot of people. Tomorrow's video, by the way, I mentioned it earlier. I have some cool videos for you tomorrow. Actually, I'll let it be a surprise. But they're videos that I know will get a lot of views. Not because, obviously, I want the views too, but it's good content. Well, at least I think so. It's interesting. You said, I don't have a choice in my life, and that is not my fault. How can I not judge myself for that? Realize that you always have a choice in your life. Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. I'm glad. So, excuse me. I just drank that drink. All right. You said, I don't have a choice in my life, and that is not my fault. How can I not judge myself for that? So, first realize you always have a choice in your life. The root cause, let me take a step back. The ideas that you hold in your consciousness, it goes ideas become beliefs, your beliefs create your actions create your results. So the first thing that you can do is you can start to see and visualize and feel the end result of whatever it is that you want. See it and feel it. And as you do that, it impresses it on your subconscious, and things will change in your life. There's never a time that you're powerless. I want you to remember this. If you get only one thing out of this talk, okay, or maybe even out of me talking forever, it's that you're never powerless. In fact, you're powerful beyond measure. Your job is to decide what it is you want, and the universe will figure out the how. So don't think you're powerless. Tell yourself, this is what I want. See and feel the end result. Make it big and bright in your mind. You can even bring it from the third person into the first person. Imagine yourself living it out and feel it. The feeling is the secret. The more feeling it has, the faster it gets impressed on your subconscious, and the quicker it'll manifest in your life. Before I get into that, so remember, start with the ideas that you have in your mind. That's one. How can I not judge myself for that? So, and you said in regards to judgment, if it doesn't feel right, stop going there. Most people are way too harsh on themselves. Instead of using criticism, use what I call the judge. At the end of every day, in your mind's eye, line up the day and be impartial. Ask yourself, what did I do good and what did I do bad? I'm going to write this down because it's a good exercise. And then tell yourself, see what you did good and see what you did bad, and strive to do more of the good the next day and less of the bad. But don't criticize yourself and be harsh. Just train yourself to learn what's right for you and what isn't every night. But remember, the most important thing is you are the root cause of what's taking place in your life, and you're one with the root cause. This infinite power, this infinite wisdom, this infinite intelligence within you, it's on standby waiting for you to tell it what to do. So show it these images of what you want and let it transform your life for the better. You can, if you're the sickest, brokest person in the world reading this, but you start to show yourself images of you healthy, wealthy, and happy, things will change in your life. It's law. It has to. There's that Bible quote, call that which is unseen as if it is seen, and it will become seen. Do the same thing. It starts in your consciousness. Show it yourself what it is you want, see it and feel it, and watch things change for you. The trick, though, is to get your mind off of all this stuff and focus it on what's taking place in your life, and knowing that that's implanted in your subconscious now, and the spirit within is going to make it a reality for you. Let me know if that answers your question. How do you know when I'm going to be live? I don't even know when I'm going to be live. Usually, though, seriously, I try to go live. At first, it was at 8:30 every night, but I work out at nights most times. So I'm going to try to go live for sure Monday through Thursday, 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. So Monday through Thursday, 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. Fridays and Saturdays, Sundays, it just depends because I have a social life. I have, a nightlife and stuff. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a gamble, but for sure Monday through Thursday, I'm going to try to go live at 9:30 PST. Or if you're ever not sure, just send me a message. Hey, are you going live tonight? And I'll respond and tell you what time I'm thinking about it. Okay? And thank you. I'm glad. And all my lives, I will be posting onto YouTube after in case you missed something. And I'm recording the audio of this on my computer, and I'll be putting them up on a podcast if you just want the audio to listen to. Fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that, Shauna. I see things like visions, then after some days I see the same. Yeah. So you have, just as you have outer senses, this is a good talk. I'm writing this down too. This is a talk that some people will say is BS. Some people who are into spirituality will say is real. So you have your outer senses, taste, touch, hearing, sight, smell. But you have your inner senses, intuition, will, reason, imagination, and perception. And perception is one of those things that you can develop. So you start to see visions of stuff, and it'll manifest in your life. For instance, I had a dream about a year back. I wrote it down. It was really weird. I said I was at Sprouts. I wrote it down. I'm at Sprouts and I'm checking my phone. And I'm watching a video of George St. Pierre. He's this famous fighter. As a garbage man, and I'm waiting for a sandwich. That's what I wrote down that the dream was. And I woke up. I remember at the time I thought, "What the hell? What is stupid dream? Why do I have dreams like this?" I thought, how weird. And then I was like, whatever. My subconscious knows what it's doing. So the other day, I'm at Sprouts. I'm waiting on a sandwich, and I checked my phone because I had just put up a video about George St. Pierre, how he used to be George St. Pierre, but for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a UFC champion, probably in my opinion, the greatest UFC champion of all time. And he was a garbage man at one point, and he ended up becoming this multi-millionaire superstar. And I put up a video about it, and so I was at Sprouts checking the views, and then I was like, oh my God, this is that dream that I had, 6 months or a year back. So to develop inner perception, by the way, I knew I was going to do a talk about this because I started practicing this talk, and I said somebody's going to manifest who I talk to about this. Inner perception is just outer perception highly developed. So if you want to develop your outer perception so that your inner perception becomes better and you become more psychic in a sense, start to do things such as go outside your house or look outside your window and see how much of the picture you can recall. Most people will only be able to recall one or two things because their perception isn't developed. They'll see, they might see one house or two houses, but get into the real description of it. How many tiles are on the house? What type of window panes did the house have? What's in the background? Is it hills? Is it trees? What's in the trees? What's on the hills? Really start to develop that outer perception. Houdini, when he would do exercises with his son to increase their perception. For example, they would be walking down a boulevard full of stores, and they'd walk by a store window, and he would tell his son how many toys, let's say it was a toy store, how many toys were in that window, what type were there, and he'd see how much of it he could describe. They would do things like that to develop their perception, and as you develop your outer perception, your inner perception will increase. You can also do things such as, I talked about programming your subconscious. Again, relax your body, relax your mind, and tell yourself every day in every way I'm becoming more and more psychic. My psychic and latent abilities are becoming more and more profound, and I'm becoming more finely tuned. It might sound like crazy stuff to some people, but develop it, practice it. If that's what you want and you feel inclined towards that area or arena, let those abilities within you grow and let them become super prominent or profound and use them for good. I can't sleep. How do I sleep? So first, I have a couple exercises. First, if you type in Tony Namey, fall asleep, I have a 30-minute track where it plays a theta sound in the background. Theta is the state of consciousness that takes place when you're asleep and dreaming, and also when you're under hypnosis. So it plays that sound in the background to take your brain from beta, which is wide awake, to alpha, which is deeper state of meditation, to theta, which is when you're in a deep sleep. And it gives you a series of positive suggestions, and it counts you down real slow to help you relax. So that's one. Listen to that track. Type in Tony Namey, fall asleep on YouTube. 2, start to tell yourself, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to sleep. When you're in bed. 3, sometimes it's just too early. Your brain is still too alert, awake. So if you feel like you want to sleep, but you're still a little bit too awake, That's why people read in bed. Get a good book and spend 30 or 40 minutes reading it and burning off some of that mental energy, and that way you can relax. And then fourth, if none of those work, what I would recommend doing is, it's a boring exercise, but it's supposed to be boring. It's from the Silva method. You relax your body and you relax your mind, and bring up a big blackboard in front of you, and on the blackboard write the word sleep with chalk. Sleep, and write the number 100 and draw a circle around it. And then erase the number 100 and erase the circle, and then outline the word sleep again and draw the number 99 and draw a circle around it, and then write over the word sleep again, and then erase the circle and erase the 99 and write 98. It's boring and it's repetitious, but it'll relax your mind. You'll get super bored and you'll end up falling asleep because it's super boring. So try any one of those exercises. Oh yeah, and lastly, start to taper your sleep. Keep track of it. Let's say you sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning one day. Strive to be asleep and in bed by 2:45 the next day, and make yourself wake up early every day. So you're forcing yourself to wake up, and then you keep adjusting what time you're sleeping, and it'll take maybe about a week or so as you keep making yourself go to sleep earlier and earlier, but you're waking up at the same time. And then eventually you'll start going to sleep way earlier because, one, you're tired, and two, your body's used to sleeping sooner. That is amazing. I would do that exercise. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, I'm glad it helped you, Nora. George St. Pierre. Yes, I love George St. Pierre. When you have those dreams, how does that help you? Except that you recall so much later. What do you think is the message? I don't remember which dreams I was talking about because I spoke about a number of dreams. Let me know which ones you mean, and I'll answer that question for you right now. I have sleep problems. I stay till 5 in the morning. I think reading books is the better way. Yeah, I sometimes get like that too. So a couple things to do is, one, get yourself in the habit of waking up early. And then two, start to tell yourself, oh yeah, another thing you can do is, this is from the Silva method, you relax your body and relax your mind. And imagine a giant clock, like one of those old grandfather clocks in front of you. And imagine you're manually adjusting the times to what time you want to sleep. So you put it at, let's say, 10 p.m. and you tell yourself, this is the time I'm going to sleep from now on. And then that way your brain knows that, your subconscious knows, get myself to sleep by then. But usually, for me at least, I had to do the tapering process to make myself go to sleep sooner and sooner. And then, let me see. What about sleeping when you work shift? Oh, you're asking how these premonitions help you. If you, in terms of being psychic and stuff, that's up to you. I mean, I've had it only happen a couple times where I had a dream about something. Like, let's say I had a dream that we went to some event. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. We went to some event and a fight broke out in the dream. And so the next day somebody asked me, like, hey, do you want to go to this event? And I said, no, let's skip it. And I didn't tell them why. And then a fight ended up breaking out, but we weren't there. So I've had it happen a few times like that. Usually, though, it's just some random thing that happened that I dreamt about that ended up coming true. And it has no meaning that I'm consciously aware of right now. So I'm not sure. It's just something that's happening. I'm sure if I start programming for it and telling, my subconscious, show me what's going to happen in a positive sense, or where I can improve my life before it happens, that's actually probably a good exercise. Let me know, and I would have dreams about it. I just haven't spent that much time with psychic stuff. How do we find motivation to study/do work? So tell yourself, first, show yourself the end result of what it is you want. So you're not studying just for the sake of studying. You're studying for the benefit of whatever it is that you're studying for. So show yourself its end result. For instance, if you're in college, show yourself graduating or you having the job and career that you want. And then also ask yourself, you're welcome. Ask yourself, what's my reason for doing this? You want to associate massive amounts of pain to not studying and massive amounts of pleasure to studying. So write out, what is all the pleasure I'll feel by working hard or doing my work? And it can be increased money, better relationships. You have the money to take your spouse out. You can dress nice, whatever. List all of it out so that you feel massive amounts of pleasure to it. And then again, show yourself the end results over and over and over again so that you're hardwiring your subconscious to make this a reality. And Tell yourself that your work is easy, that your studying is easy, it's smooth, it's enjoyable. You enjoy doing it. Whatever you study helps improve your life. Even if it's something that's purely academic in nature, tell yourself, this is having a positive impact on my consciousness and my life. My work is uplifting me. It's causing me to evolve and grow. Give yourself positive ideas about it, and that way it won't seem this tedious, laborious task, but instead will be something that you enjoy doing that's uplifting your life. When I would go to work, all the way up until I believe my last month or two there, I would go to work with a smile. I'd tell myself, my job makes a difference. I'm impacting people's lives in a positive way. I'm helping people become better. My work is improving me. My work is my play, stuff like that. And then I ended up leaving because I felt my time there had expired. But now I work all day, but I work a lot now, but I feel like I enjoy it. I mean, it's 12 o'clock at night over here and I'm talking to you all, but it's not from a place of like, oh, I have to do this. This is what I love to do. So start to tell yourself these positive ideas about your work and watch your work shift and become that. Let me know if that helps. Let me see if anyone else has any other questions. So, okay. Broken Soul. Hello, Broken Soul and Ricky Richie. So, okay. So, it is now 12:02 a.m. So, I'm going to sign off for the night. Thank you, everyone, for listening, for joining this. It's been really enjoyable. If you don't follow me, please do. I mentioned this a few times. I post videos such as this 1 to 3 times a day. I want to see you grow. I want to see you succeed. If you need anything, I'm always here. You can always send me a DM and I'll help you out. And have a great night, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. I might be back on tomorrow around 8:30 or 9:30. And then I'll definitely be back on Monday at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, everyone.